So after the success of the 5 things that I dislike about my 2013 Chrysler 300C all-wheel drive, I have finally decided, after driving this car for 4 or 5 months, to make a video about the 5 things I dislike about my 2011 Shelby GT500. So as you can see in the background here today, I'm at the Ford store here in Whitehorse. It's a long weekend, the place is closed, but I thought, hey, since I bring my car here for service, and it's my #1 complaint with the car, not Whitehorse Motor Service Facility itself, they have been great to me, it is the cost of maintenance on this car. The first thing I dislike, and the one thing that's cost me the most money, has been the cost of maintenance. I knew this going in, that this car, oil changes were going to be a little bit more expensive because of the oil, for example. It's a 5W50. They only use this oil in 3 or 4 different Ford engines. As well, the car's a 2011. I bought it in 2016, so the tires were 5 years old. I replaced all 4 tires. I took off the Goodyear Eagle F1 Supercard tires and replaced it with Michelin Super Sports. Now, the tires have been great, don't get me wrong, but right off the bat, when I bought the car, with the tires and the oil change, it was almost $2,000 right off the bat. Then, the front brakes started to squeal, and that drove me nuts. I hate slowing down at a stoplight and having the brakes squeak and squeal. It drives me crazy. Front brake pads, parts and labor on this car was $750. I guess it's a special brake pad, and obviously, this car only had 13,000 kilometers on it when I bought it. And I was about to go across Canada on a 13,000 kilometer road trip. So I thought, fresh oil, new tires, new brake pads, we're going to be good to go. So right off the bat, I pulled it out of the garage, and I'm between $2,500 and $3,000. Another thing with the Shelby GT500 that I'm not used to with any other car that I've ever owned or driven is that you cannot hide in this car. The white car, the blue racing stripes, the loud exhaust. The Shaker 1000 stereo system. Now, I guess I'm a bit of a louder guy, bigger personality, being a car salesman, excitement sells. That's how I've always approached it. And with the car, well, it's an exciting car, but by all means, I make sure, especially when I drove across Canada, I didn't get pulled over once. I pretty much drove the speed limit the whole way. My license plates, they say too quick for you. So again, draws me a little bit of attention, but it also lets guys know that if they want to go out and have fun, that's why I bought the car. Now, when you drive a car like this, in my opinion, people will assume certain things about you. Now, in my case, until you get to know me, you probably would know that I'm not married, I don't have any kids. So when the bank says yes and I don't have anyone to tell me no, guys like me go ahead and buy cars like this. So, I don't own the car outright. I share this car with the bank. But by all means, I used to have an '86 Ford Mustang. I could have put a lot of money into that car. It would never have been the car this one is. So again, people will assume that when you drive a car like this, because it's a rare car, and especially car guys know this car is about $25,000 more than a Ford GT. So in 2011, this car MSRP'd in Canadian funds for between 65 grand, and I bought it 5 years later for a little bit less than that. So I don't mind. I knew going in when I bought the car, just like the maintenance, I didn't realize how much people were going to react to the car and stop me at gas station and want to talk about it. So, you know, I didn't realize I wasn't going to be able to hide as much. But when people assume certain things about you, you know, at least I don't drive a Corvette, right? Because you know what they assume about Corvette drivers. And another thing with this car is the interior. It's kind of bland. Sure, Shelby does a few things. You know, they put the GT500 plate on the dash. They change it, the steering wheel. Put the snake in the center here. But other than that, you look at a V6 base Mustang of the same year, it pretty much has the same layout. So the interior is nothing exciting. The seats are nice, don't get me wrong. I love the seats. But everything that the driver looks at in front of you is very generic. So I guess what my last complaint with this car would be that in my own personal experience, I have went from a 300 horsepower Fox body 5-liter Mustang to a 550 horsepower Shelby GT500, and now when I launch the car, rip through first, second, and plants you in the seat, and third and fourth gear, it kind of lets you off the hook. I want to be able to still have the car put you in the seat in third and fourth like it does in first and second.
It definitely puts you back in your seat.
Like it spun all the way through first.
Wow. Wow, that certainly puts you right back in the seat.
So again, real quick, the 5 things I dislike about my 2011 Shelby GT500 is the cost of maintenance. This car you cannot hide. People will assume certain things about you. The interior is kind of bland. And I'm ready for more power, and I know it's going to cost me a little bit of money. So if this is your first time dropping in, please feel free to hit the subscribe button for future content. Also hit that like button. If you have a Shelby GT500 or if you have any questions about mine, please feel free to leave something in the comments below.
I use a stock air filter because I don't like getting dirt in my shit.